Good morning. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Um, so about the CSR, it is a chorioretinal disease that causes idiopathic serous detachment of retina associated with one or more areas of leakage from the choroid. Is one of the most common phenotypes of pachychoroid spectrum, especially in the Asian populations. Needs multimodal imaging in order to accurately diagnose and distinguish between CSC and other conditions with overlapping clinical conditions. So there has been quite a lot of discussion about the classification of these CSCRs. There has been acute and chronic, which we have been seeing. And then we also have the newer classification put forth by the international expert group, which has classified it into simple and chronic, based on primary, recurrent, resolved, persistent, etc. So these are the risk factors that we all know about, commonly being glucocorticoids, stress, and the other ones including untreated hypertension, use of alcohol, pregnancy, etc. So conventional management, we have conventional investigations like the fundus fluorescein angiography showing ink blot leaks or smokestack leaks, which is the most conventional one. The other one which we have recently come across is with the indocyanine green angiography, which shows hotspots and also shows the vasculature of the choroid. And nowadays it is going more towards the CSCR is being called as a choroidal disease, and we can see on ultra wide field ICG with the watershed zones of the choroidal vasculature changing and going across the horizontal midline. The then we have the OCT, which shows leakage, which identifies the leakage site and disruption at the leakage site. Morphological analysis of the choroidal vasculature, thickness which can be measured, hyperreflective dots in the SRF, and detecting occult CNV if at all by the presence of double layer sign, etc. Octa also helps us in some way or by detecting choroidal neovascular membranes and the choroidal vascularity index, the vascular density, fractal dimensions, etc. The newer investigations which are there in the pipeline are non-invasive techniques, mainly the flavoprotein fluorescence and multispectral imaging. But these need further evaluation and have not been officially come out in the market. Therapy-wise, we have been using laser photocoagulation. We have had good results with PDT, especially the half-dose PDT, where it has been effectively shown to reduce SRF, choroidal thickness, and vascular hyperpermeability, and has been used in recurrent, typical, and chronic CSCR. And these trials have convincingly showed that half-dose PDT is a great help. But unfortunately, not all the centers can afford or have these PDT lasers, and we are unable to do it on a routine basis. The other things that we can do is observation, especially if it is a acute CSCR and we have seen that almost 90% of these are self-limiting and resolve spontaneously. Sir has given an excellent presentation. Arora sir has given an excellent presentation on high density subthreshold micropulse laser. However, most of the literature as of now mentions that it is not superior to half-dose PDT, but then Pacurus trial concluded that can be of use in chronic CSCR where PDT is unavailable. But as sir did mention, we have to repeat the HSML over a period of time. Pharmacotherapy, we have used anti-VEGFs, bevacizumab has been used, and recently aflibercept and brolucizumab have shown good results, but not in all the cases, and we still know that it is an off-label use, and further studies are needed to correlate and confirm the outcomes. Mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoid receptor and antagonists have been shown to be used in these CSCRs. They have been, the rationale is that raised levels of cortisol, which can be taken care of, and the dysregulation of the mineralocorticoid receptor level in CSC patients. So eplerenone was used quite a lot, but the Wiki trial didn't show much of clinical efficacy and showed that it was not superior to placebo. And there have been usage of spironolactone, mifepristone, all have not been as good as many of these other conventional lasers that we have done. The other oral medications which are being used are aspirin, melatonin, antioxidants, H. pylori treatment, beta blockers, ketoconazole, and rifampicin. So as of date, we know acute CSR, we are to
Sir,
look
can
at.
you please conclude because
Yes,
we
sir.
have run out of time.
Yes, sir, we are almost done. We can observe, and if there are, if it doesn't subside over 4 to 6 months, we can proceed with the half-dose PDT. And if it is chronic, then we know the treatment is pretty much what is there. So by concluding, there is still no unanimous consensus about its classification and treatment. Further large-scale and well-structured clinical trials need to be conducted to provide more evidence about clinical efficacy of oral medications. And to date, half-dose PDT is considered by most of the authors the gold standard.
Thank you very much.